As you well know, a lot has been written about the 12 months ahead, from market volatility to the likelihood of recession. From your perspective, what do you see as the biggest challenges and the biggest opportunities for the next 12 months?
Yeah, the biggest challenge is, we don't know how bad margin compression and earnings will be this year. We know the world is slowing. We know GDP growth is slowing. We know rates went up a lot last year and inflation went up a lot last year, but we also know that's coming down now, and the rate increases we're at the end of that. Whether it's 2 more by the Fed, 1 more by the Bank of Canada, we're at the later innings of that. So those are all known, but what we don't know is how that will impact the consumer and business this year, because there's a lag effect. So rates went up, as mortgages roll over, as corporate debt rolls over in 23 and 24, there's going to be some tightening there. Margins could come down. If earnings come down in a big way, if we get into a recession, those are the unknowns. We could have some more choppy markets. And then there's always the geopolitical risk. You've got Iran-Israel issues. You've got China, US, Taiwan tensions. We're in a war right now. So all of that can change on a dime, which no one can predict. You can just kind of insulate yourself as much as you can from those type of exogenous events with just proper portfolio management. So those are, what we're cautious about, and we're running our portfolios generally fully invested, but cautious and defensively, and dividends help. What am I optimistic about? Well, the rapid rise in rates is coming to an end sometime in the first half of 23. That gives us a pretty good outlook for 24. So we're 12 to 18 months from a really rosy outlook where year over year comps look better. There's a few subsectors that 2 out of the 3 had a rough year last year. REITs, which give you high levels of income. I think if you can buy real estate companies in Canada, where we've got lots of immigration, our economy from that standpoint should be fairly strong, and those immigrants need to stay in apartments. So the apartment sector is a sector that was down a lot last year. We like that this year. Clean technology, there's a lot of things happening. The Inflation Reduction Act in the United States, more of that happening in Europe. There's gonna be a lot of infrastructure, onshoring spend in that space. So solar, battery storage, there's some interesting opportunities in there with companies that, and some of them, some of the multinational industrials pay dividends. And then we do like resources. That's a kind of a theme, many of which are increasing their dividends. There's been an underinvestment in mining, energy over the last 5 to 10 years. And as the economy gets better, late 23, 24, China reopens, there's gonna be a draw on a smaller supply of commodities, and we think that's going to give a pretty good tailwind to those sectors. So I'm optimistic on those sectors. We're cautiously optimistic in starting out here in 23.